Good morning, everybody. Okay, it's time for our maths lesson. Now, yesterday in maths, we started looking at numbers to 20 and different ways that we could represent the numbers. So we looked at tens and ones. We were looking at, let me show you, our tens frames. And we used our household objects, didn't we? It was brilliant. Well done. So we did our numbers to 20 very concretely yesterday, didn't we? Today we're going to be looking at pictorial, so in picture form, which is really exciting. Before we do that, I'm going to challenge you. You might already have them from yesterday. Can you go and get, so pause the video, can you go and get 20 objects? So it could be 20 pieces of pasta. It could be 20 pieces of Lego, 20 toys, 20 pencils. So pause the video, go and get 20 for me, please. Ready? Go! Brilliant, well done. Now what I want you to do is when I finish talking, pause the video and I want you to practice your counting 1 to 20, moving your objects really slowly and carefully like we do in school. See if you can really carefully count them. So off you go. Well done, everybody. Now it's really important that we move them one at a time when we're counting, because if we just go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to miscount. And it's really important when we're using our objects and our tens frame and all of the objects that we're using at home, that if we start moving them really quickly or don't count them properly and slowly, that we get all confused and we might get the wrong answer. So we really need to practice our counting really carefully. So well done, everybody. Your next challenge, now you've got 20 objects, I want you, with your maths book, open it to the first clean page that you've got. I want you to write your numbers 1 to 20 in order and see if you can get it the right way round. So off you go. I'm going to do it with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and finally 20. So let's check yours. You can mark it. Make sure you've got all of them the right way round. Make sure all your numbers are the correct way round. Maybe you could use your blue for brilliant or pink for think if you've not got one right. Just quickly change it. So now you've got those, just to remind you of them, we can start with today's lesson. So I'm just going to rub mine out so you can see the board. Okay. Now the first number that I think we'll think about together is going to be the number 13. So 1 up 3, 13. So let's put that in our tens and ones frame like we did before. So we've got 1 10 and 3 ones. Now we could draw that, couldn't we? We looked at our tens and ones before, so maybe let's draw it underneath. So we'll have 1, 10. So there's my little 10. And then we'd have 3 little ones. So there's one way to show it, isn't it? How else could we show? How else? We could put it in our tens frame. Now lots of you made these yesterday, didn't you? And you stuck all of your little objects on to make the different numbers. That was brilliant. So if you've still got your tens frame, do you want to pause the video and with your objects that you went to gather before, can you make me the number 13, please? Brilliant. Well done. Now, we could also draw our tens frame, couldn't we? So I could quickly draw it now. So we'll go boop, 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 boop. 1, 2. So there's 1. I could draw my next one, couldn't I? Now I could draw, and we said we were going to do pictorial, didn't we? So we could draw the pictures in, couldn't we? So I could show my number 13. So now I've got to really count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now you could have used your little objects, that's absolutely fine as well, but I've just shown you how we could draw it as well. Now we've got 13 in our tens frames, so I can just check. So I've definitely got 10 there because my 1 to 10s frame is full. So I've got 10 there. And then I've got 1, 2, 3. So 10 and 3, we've got 13. So look at all these different ways that we've shown the number 13. That's amazing, isn't it? So I'd like you to have a go next at doing this with the number 15, please. So pause the video. How many different ways can you show the number 15? You can use your concrete objects if you want, all the things that you've gathered. You could draw your 10s frames and draw them in. You could draw your 10s and 1s. That'd be amazing. So have a go at that, please. Well done, everybody. Okay, now we do have some worksheets for today. Now, I've got them here so we can have a look at them. Stick them on the board. There we go. So it's just like our 10s frames that we were using on Monday, so yesterday, except they're already drawn on the paper for us. Now don't worry if you don't have a printer and you haven't printed this out, that's absolutely fine. You could just have a look how many there are, so count them on your computer or on your phone or whatever you're using. Then you could make it on your 10s frame with your concrete objects, couldn't you, with your objects that you found. That is absolutely fine. Okay. So what we need to do first is work out what number it is showing. Now we already know that when one whole 10s frame is full, we know that that's 10, don't we? But I could just double check and count it. So we can cross them out as we count just to make sure we've definitely counted it. So let's count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've crossed it out as I've counted it to make it really clear. So I know in this 10s frame there is 10. There's 10 counters. Now, how many have I got here? Let me count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 there. So I know there's 10 in this 10s frame and 5 in here. So what would be 10 and 5? 15. And if I didn't know that, I could just count them all together. So I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we were right, there's 15. Now in the number 15, how many 10s would I have if I've already filled this one in? We already know that one. There'd be 1. And how many 1s would I have? There are 5 left over, aren't there, in our 10s frame? Now, shall we try this one together? So we'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number 12, I'm going to write it next to it first. I've written the number 12. Now I'm going to think. I could put my 10s and 1s here first. How many 1s would I have? I'd have 2. Well done. How many 10s would I have? I would just have 1. Well done. What's the value of the 2? What do I mean by that? What's the value of the 2? Let's write this number down so we can see it clearly. Got, what's the value of our 2? It's in the 1 section. It's just 2, isn't it? So what's the value of our 1 in the 10 section? Is it just 1? No, it's 10, isn't it? And that will make it clear if we draw our 10s and 1s in to help us out. There we go. So your task today is to finish these sheets. So we've already started them together, so well done. Finish these sheets, count how many are in the 10s frame and then put it in your 10s and 1s here, please. If you want to continue with our practical that we were doing before we started these, you could pick numbers to 20 and you can make them with your 10s frame and objects here, just like on here, and then you could put it in your 10s and 1s. Have a go, see how many different ways you can make the numbers to 20. Well done, everybody. See you later.